Okay, so being that we are at the end of the month of November, it's time for a look ahead into December and take a look at some of the bigger releases and that sort of thing that we can expect coming out, and those items that I may pick up, I may not pick up, those that I won't pick up. But let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Yes, so December, the final month of the year. Hope you got your wallets ready for this one because, again, it is busy. Only it is busy for a couple of weeks, then it tails off and we get some few straggly bits. And then we go into January. Now I'm looking forward to January because generally in the first quarter of the year, releases now calm down. A lot less comes out because at this time of year, all these special edition releases are being pushed upon us because it is Christmas, and you know, these companies are hoping that you will ask for these goodies to appear in your stockings over that festive period. Yes, so it's a busy one. Turns into a quiet one. So let's begin. December 4th. What a hideous week this is for releases. There's a fair few big ones, so let's get started. So first up is Blackadder. Blackadder, the complete collection on Blu-ray. Rowan Atkinson's classic 80s sitcom from the BBC. There's some, you know, what can I say about Blackadder? The first season isn't particularly great. Season 2 is brilliant. Season 3 is okay. Season 4 is fantastic. Then you've got a few specials after that. I have them on DVD. Is an upgrade needed? Yes, they are good, but is an upgrade needed? From my perspective, most certainly not. And this box set, I think, is about $49.99. It's a lot of money. Yeah, so I think that's one that I won't be delving into because there's just too much out. And then we've got another TV series out, and this is a TV series that I do want to get, but this is like $69.99 or something nonsensical price like that. But it's worth it when you look at the amount of view time that you've got, and that's for Babylon 5. Babylon 5, the complete series, as in the pilot episode, seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It doesn't include the movies that came afterwards or anything like that. It's just the series. Now, Babylon 5, back in the day, I adored Babylon 5. I used to go to the conventions. I've met the cast. I've got autographs of them all and all this sort of thing when I used to autograph chase. I don't do that sort of thing anymore. I'm beyond that now. But yeah, Babylon 5 was a fantastic show, and for it to be upgraded onto Blu-ray format is definitely something that I most certainly want. Even though I've got them on DVD. I don't know what I'll do with that one. It's a lot of money. I may wait for it to decrease in price. And next up is one of the worst films of the year. I'm not going to lie to you. And that is Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny. Yeah, so you've got your DVD, you've got your Blu-ray, you've got your 4K, you've got your Steelbook, all this sort of stuff coming at us for this movie. It's not a good film at all. I could spend hours talking about the problems with this film and how bad it is, and yeah, I'm not going to get into it. It's a bad movie, okay? I don't want it. I do not want it on physical media. You know, the only good thing that came out of this film is that it elevated Crystal Skull. Yeah. Much like Die Hard 5 elevated Die Hard 4. It's that sort of a thing going on. And then we've got WandaVision. Season 1 of, well, it's a complete series, isn't it? WandaVision in Steelbook. Now, Disney and these releases. So, we've already had Loki. So, they're not releasing these as they are released on TV, which is a bit annoying in a sense, I suppose. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day, but you know, logically you'd think, well, let's put out one division first, let's put out Loki second. But no, Loki season 2 has just ended on TV, so I think that the logic is that if we get Loki out first, it might be fresh in people's mind. They go and buy this one here. Very cynical releases again from me, from my perspective, from Disney, in that these are only available on Steelbook at the cost of £45 a piece. Not everyone can afford that. Not proper collectors, or people who just collect. I don't want to term this. Okay, you've got the collectors that collect steelbooks and things like that. Fine, they will get it. But then you've got people whose budget don't stretch that far, and they're just happy with standard Blu-ray releases and this sort of a thing, and they haven't got that choice. They've not been given that choice. Whether that choice comes a little bit down the line because they want to push the steelbook thing first, but I don't believe Disney are 100% behind these releases because of the way that they've been released, different to how they were released, the fact that it's only steelbooks and that it's not a standard release. I can't see Disney continuing with these. You're certain. I can't see you getting to the point where Loki season 2 is given a release, and things like that. If they go in order of how they were released on TV, I can't see them getting that far down. Not unless they sort of think, well, we'll do Loki, we won't do She-Hulk, we won't do Secret Invasion, we'll do and they just pick and choose. I just don't see these continuing. Yeah, I need to see something else happen. I need to see standard releases come out. They need to release a steelbook and a standard release at the same time. We're just being mugged off by Disney at this point with these releases. That being said, obviously I am going to get it. Okay, enough of that. So next up is a steelbook of a film that's already been released, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Now, yes, the steelbook has come out a little bit later than the actual release of the film by, week, 2 weeks, something like that. Funnily, it was available for pre-order on, I think it's Amazon Italy, for £20 or £22. And if you went through Hot UK deals, you could get for like 18 or 19 quid. Over here, it's £35. And it's unreleased in that territory as well. I think it gets released around the 9th or something like that. But I cancelled, because I'm getting it. I want to get it. I cancelled the UK order and I went that way because it's saving me 15 quid nigh on. That makes sense, certainly. So, yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, Steelbook. And then we have Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Second season. Steelbooks are available, 4K and Blu-ray. Thankfully, this time they haven't done what they did with season 1, where they released the Blu-ray and then a couple of months later they dropped the 4K on you. They're available at the same time, so you can make that choice. Standard editions, 4K editions, that sort of a thing. Again, fantastic show. It really is a fantastic show. I love it a lot. So obviously that's one I want as well. See what I mean? Busy month. My God. And then we have The Haunting in Venice, the third film in the Hercule Poirot saga, starring and directed by Kenneth Branagh. Now, again, a film that I will want for the collection, but not on release. I've seen the film twice. So I'm not in a rush to rewatch it again. This is something that when I see it in CEX for maybe 5 or 6 quid, I'll think, okay, now's the time to add it to the collection. Certainly not on release day, because it's so fresh in my memory. Literally, as I'm filming this, I probably watched it a week and a half ago. Second time, because the wife wanted to watch it at that point. So why would I go out and buy it just to put it on the shelf at full price, put it on the shelf when it's so fresh in my mind? That's just nonsense. And this is detrimental to Blu-ray sales, because I then go and buy it second-hand market because I've watched it. I don't need to watch it again now or own it. Okay, and now we jump to December the 11th. And first up, we have a Steelbook release, and exactly what I was saying about WandaVision, I won't repeat myself, it goes for this as well. Now it's season 1 of The Mandalorian. Again, all exactly the same, no standard edition, just a steelbook, 45 quid. I feel sorry for people who want this stuff on like DVD, on standard Blu-ray, and things like that. Seriously, it's a horrible release strategy from Disney. It certainly is. But there we go. Obviously one that I want. Mandalorian Season 1 was very good. That's that. And then we have Equalizer. The Equalizer 3, Denzel Washington. My God, this is a fantastic film. It was a really good film. I loved it. It really was a return to form after sort of lackluster second one, or very, very disjointed second one, I should say. So I will get that. There is, you know, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, steelbook available for it as well. Very good film. And then what's Christmas without Will Ferrell and Elf? Yeah, we get a special collector's edition of Elf. Now, a year ago, Elf came out in 4K. This year, we're getting a 4K special collector's edition in a fancy little box that opens up, and there's some bump in there as well. I love the film. It's a fantastic film. I really, seriously, it's one of my favourite Christmas films. I enjoy it a lot. We get Saw X. And surprisingly, a really good film. Saw X was a really good film. It focused a lot more on the character of John Kramer. I was shocked and pleasantly surprised by the fact that it was more of a character study rather than a sort of a gore porn fest kind of a movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it is one. I do have the other Saw films, so obviously it is one that I will be getting there. I'm not sure if a steelbook's available for this. I should have done my homework a bit better, but there we go. And then we have Expendables 4. This does have a steelbook, and it has a lovely steelbook. It does. It's like green slippy colour, see-through clear slip, and you've got like the Raven on it or whatever it is, and it matches these Best Buy exclusives that came out of America. Expendables 1, 2 and 3 got similar releases, similar design, so it kind of matches those, which is fantastic if you have got it in America, because we didn't get those steelbooks over here. That being said, the film is awful. The film is crap. It's a rubbish film. It's a poor film. It's an abysmal film. It's horrendous to look at. It really is. It looks so fake. I've never seen a film looking so fake as this film does. It's really bad. Sorry, I'm just watching the dog on the floor. That's why if you see me looking down, just keep an eye on what Brody's up to. Brody? Yeah, stop that. Yeah, so that's it for December the 11th. Now let's jump to, where are we jumping to? December the 18th. Oh my God, expense. Okay, so December the 18th, and we're literally right on top of Christmas at this point. We really are. Okay, so Child's Play. Child's Play gets a 4K release, a box set with all of the films on 4K. I'm a big fan of the Child's Play franchise. I love the Child's Play franchise. I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. It's one of those horror movies that I sort of grew up on, series that I grew up on as a kid and has progressed into adulthood. And when you watch them in close proximity to one another, there's so much interconnectivity between each of the films. It's really, really good. Even the lesser films, the worst ones, there's still something in there that, you know, that you get this enjoyment out of this interconnectivity, because they're essentially made by the same person all the way through. That being said, there's two available. There's two versions available, yellow box or blue box. I won't be getting either. Sad to say, I don't think I need to upgrade the Child's Play franchise. At this point, it's getting stupid. I don't revisit the franchise often. I think I last watched it 2 years ago when season 1 of the TV series came about, and I reviewed each film then at that point. When am I going to watch them again is anyone's guess. And herein lies the problem. I'm upgrading for the sake of upgrading of a film franchise that I might not go and watch for another 5 to 10 years, if I'm even alive then. Do you see what I'm saying? And in that time, I could probably pick this box set up for 50%, 60% less than what it costs now. So, logically, why would I pick it up? Just to put it on the shelf to gather dust. It makes no sense. But there we go. But, you know, It's nice that we're getting them in 4K in this country. I can't deny that. Then we have Pinocchio. This is Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, and it's a Criterion Collection release. I've not seen it. I had the opportunity to see it. I didn't take it. I don't know. Is it any good? Let me know in the comments down below. I've got no idea. And then one that I am looking forward to, and that's Titanic in 4K. Yes, 4K version of Titanic. Now, obviously, we've had announcements of Aliens. We've had an announcement of True Lies. The Abyss looks like we may not be getting it in this country because of the rat scene and the BBFC not passing it and this sort of a thing. So that may have to be imported. I'm looking forward to this release for Titanic. It's just that there's no steelbook. There's no special edition with bump, right? And that just, it feels so refreshing that I mean, okay, it'll probably come down the line, don't get me wrong, right? They'll release this, people will go out and buy it, then in 2 months' time, there's a special edition steelbook version coming. There's a big, fancy Dan version coming. I'm not sure in America, is there a special edition version? There might well be, but one hasn't been announced over here. But like I say, that's refreshing, that it feels that it's about the film. The film having a 4K transfer and being released is enough on its own, you know. And if they do the same with Aliens and with True Lies, not so much True Lies, but with The Abyss, if that's the case, it's just the film in a standard Amaray release with a slip. I'm happy with that because they've made it about the movie rather than the bump that comes with it. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of the bump. I like those collector's editions, but it just feels refreshing to have, you know, here you go, here's your 4K release of Titanic. Thank you very much. I'll go watch that because that's what it's about, watching it, not looking at all these paper cards that come with it or a silly little plastic boat that will sink when you rams into an iceberg. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, it's a very refreshing feel. But there we go. And then we have on this day, and I will be getting this, obviously I'll be getting Titanic, Robodoc. Robodoc is a documentary about the making of the first Robocop film. And this thing runs for about 4.5 to 5 hours. Now, I have seen all 4 parts of it. I have watched the whole documentary, and it is fantastic, right? It's the sort of documentary that I like because it's retrospective, so you get an honesty about the making of the film. It gets everyone that it can back to interview, you know, even down to people who are on screen, like the 2 hookers, or the coke hookers or whatever you want to call them. It's you know, it goes that far in, and it seriously, it delves so deep into every aspect of the movie. It's unreal. It really is good. But it's about Robocop 1. There's a tiny bit at the end where they talk about, you know, what came after, but very, very brief. Out of a 4.5 hour documentary, that's about the last 10 minutes that they start talking about that stuff. So it's not a documentary about the franchise and the legacy of the franchise, which is unfortunate because with the films, with the remake, with the TV series, with the cartoon series, with the comic books, it would have been a nice addition to have that there. But unfortunately, that isn't there, and that's me nitpicking. But seriously, it's a fantastic documentary. If you like Robocop, I seriously suggest watching this. It truly is good. So that's one for the collection. And then we have Doctor Who, the 60th anniversary specials. Is that right? This is listed. I don't know the dates that these are screening on TV, but December the 18th is the release for these, apparently, with the steelbook release and all that sort of a thing. Obviously, as I'm, recording this, we've only had the first special appear, and I've done a review for it. It was very controversial, upset a lot of people because I don't hold back. I don't hold back from what I see on screen. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm getting wound up again now. But anyway, so Doctor Who, the 60th anniversary specials are out on this day. I wind myself up with this stuff. I do. I really do. That's my opinion. I don't care what other people think of my opinion. I'm happy to sit down and have a sensible conversation about these things, but I'm certainly not going to shy away from these conversations. I'm not going to shy away from my opinions. I'm not going to have my opinions silenced by a minority of individuals that are very loud. Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. There we go. Very passionate about it. But yeah, so anyway, so that's it for then. So the rest of the month. So the rest of December is quiet. Very quiet. Nothing being released, or a few straggly bits being released. One highlight is on December the 25th. Yeah, December the 25th. I don't know why or how that works, but there we go. Is The Sound of Freedom, the Jim Caviezel film that was made by 20th Century Fox, got caught up in the Disney buyout of 20th Century Fox, Disney not wanting to release the film, then the people involved with the film buying the rights back off of Disney so that they could release the movie. It's a good film. It's about child sex slave trade in America and this sort of a thing, based on a true story. I say based, I don't know how in depth, but it's a solid film, certainly one worthy of my collection at least. Great performance by Jim Caviezel. And then, like I said, a few straggly bits here and there. And so, again, a very expensive month for possibly for a lot of people. And I was hoping December would be quieter. It's obviously not. All I can say is January. I haven't had a look into January yet, really. I know Mandalorian Season 2's there for January. But February should be a lot quieter, and March should be a lot quieter. One can only hope, and then what we can do is build that bank balance back up again. This time of year just gives you a hit, doesn't it? But there we go. So let me know down in the comments what you're getting, what you're interested in, what you're not interested in, well, I'll see you just before the new year with the next episode of this, won't I? Yeah, so, well, I might as well say have a good Christmas now, if this is all you watch of mine. But yeah, anyway, I'm getting going, so I'll see you on the next one. Take care and goodbye.